All right, so yeah, my car's been making a weird sound.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and
This is your Model 3.
yes. So the front suspension is squeaking a lot, and it's been getting worse and worse. At first, I thought,
Didn't you already have this problem?
on the right-hand side, I had this problem. I'm pretty sure the same thing's happening to the left-hand side.
What was it on the right-hand side?
I think it was the upper control arm.
You got it replaced.
Got it replaced.
And that was under warranty?
That was under warranty. I crossed over the 50,000 mile
Uh-oh.
limit, so I'm out of warranty, which means that this is going to have to probably be out of pocket.
You know, we should do a show about this so that people know what it's like to get their Teslas repaired out of warranty. Next on In Depth. Today's show is sponsored by Extra.
Extra is the first debit card that lets you build credit and earn rewards.
Now, I don't think a lot of people understand how important having a good credit score is.
Yeah, your credit score is like this secret thing that nobody talks about or explains to you, but it is so important for so many things in life.
Yeah, like if you want to buy an EV or rent an apartment or buy a house, without a good credit score, all these things are either way more expensive or sometimes impossible.
And for many people, it's the chicken and the egg problem. You want to build your credit score, but you can't get a credit card to do that because
you don't have a good credit score.
And a lot of people don't want to get a credit card at all because they don't want to worry about debt.
So how does Extra work?
Users connect Extra to their bank with no credit check. When you swipe your Extra card, Extra pays for the purchase and then pays themselves back from your bank account the next business day.
And there's no interest charges?
Exactly, no interest charges. At the end of the month, Extra tallies up your payments and reports them to credit bureaus.
Building credit with a debit card, yes please.
And I didn't even get to the best part.
What's that?
With Extra, you earn up to 1% redeemable reward points for every purchase you make.
So don't wait. Sign up for Extra today and start building your credit with a debit card. Yes, a debit card.
All right, so it is a Tesla, and so that means that service works a little bit differently. You don't call up a place and a guy goes, "What do you need?" You go through the app. So I have my Tesla app here with my car on it. I'll show you with our camera right here. So I'm just going to scroll down to service. Okay, request service. I guess this would be noise or vibration. This is a rattle or a squeaking noise. Okay. Front left suspension seems to be squeaking an awful lot and getting worse. So then we'll go next. All right, so then it gives me some options. I really don't like Watertown. I'd rather go to Peabody, so I'll select Peabody. So that's nice. Get to choose my service location and request service. Nice, big check mark. Being reviewed. I should be notified within 2 hours to schedule my appointment. And so let's just get started here. Information required. So I'll get started. Please review the following questions. So what location is the noise coming from? Front suspension or steering? Yes. Please describe the issue. Noise coming from suspension while driving on uneven road? Yes. Submit. Success. Okay, so I guess they'll get back to me, and I will get back to you when I get the notification. Okay, so it's roughly 3-4 hours later. I have a notification from Tesla service. Okay, so that opens the app. Upcoming appointment. Cost estimate. Schedule. Today is the 12th. The next available appointment is Monday. So the 25th is just under 2 weeks from now. Schedule service. Appointment updated. All right, so my appointment time I set for 2 p.m. on Monday. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to drop my car off Sunday, the day before. So now the only thing to do is wait. All right, so about half an hour after I scheduled my appointment, I've gotten in the estimate. So $705.35. This is, tells me everything that I already know. Review the estimate. Okay, not a lot of details. I'll view details in the PDF. So let's open that PDF invoice. All right, so before I approve that estimate, there's a message from the service team. Okay, so $700. That sucks. Had it happened 3,000 miles ago, it would be covered under warranty because my last upper control arm was covered under warranty. So that's where we're at so far. This is day one of the process, and I already have an estimate. It's not really a fun estimate. It's not free. Go figure. It wasn't free, but it is, not a wearable part of the car. It's not a part of the car that you expect to fail, which is the kind of the big bummer for me. And I don't know what I did wrong. I mean, yes, I live in Massachusetts and the world is full of potholes, but I don't know if that is what did it, or if it's I turned too aggressively. Like, I have no idea what it is. I would love to know in the comments below if you have had similar problems with your Tesla Model 3 upper control arms, specifically late 2018. We'll see how it goes, and we'll move on.
All right, so it's been a few days since we last talked to you, even though time hasn't changed here.
Yeah, so last time I spoke with everyone here. I had my estimate, so I brought it in yesterday, dropped it off, put the key card in the envelope, left it there, which is great. Then this morning, I just get a bunch of texts that say, "You have unread message from Tesla service, Peabody." Okay, so I go into my app, and instead of any kind of like explanation, it's just like, your service appointment has been updated. Review and approve your new estimate. Okay, so there's new estimates. Then I go to my estimate, and it's much higher than when I brought it in.
So it went up by over $150. And why? Yeah,
Replace the left hand and right hand front upper control arms. That was going to cost, that's $400 in parts.
But by the way, you had already had one of those control arms replaced the last time.
The right one. Yeah. So like, why would you replace the right one again? Then there's my front wheel speed sensor, which I didn't know was a problem, and they didn't like contact me or tell me about.
So what are you upset about the most?
Well, look, it was already expensive, right? $700 something. It took me days for me to be like, and then finally approve that estimate and be like, okay, well, that's what it's going to cost to fix it.
But I mean, are you upset because you don't think this should be broken this early in the car's life, or that?
Yeah, a bunch of things, right? Like, why is the right control arm being replaced if it's already been replaced?
And keep in mind, like, you've never drag raced this car. You use this as your daily driver.
Right. I haven't taken it to a race course. It would just be good to know. So that way maybe I have tried and avoid potholes if it's going to be, $700 every few years. And then like the front wheel speed sensor. I haven't gotten any errors for it. Why are you replacing it?
So back to communication.
Yeah, it's just like, and I already approved an estimate.
Well, and I think what you're asking for is, at least in the estimate, maybe an explanation paragraph that says the reason we have to replace this is because of this,
Or just anything.
Well, and this kind of flies in the face of what we reported on a week or two ago on Tesla Time News, which was that Elon wants to make this more like an F1, Formula One pit where you just fix things quickly and get it out the door. It's like, that's great, but that means probably less communication with you.
So basically I messaged them, and I'm asking for explanation as to why it's so expensive, because like, I don't want them to replace the right control arm if there's no
if you don't need to, right?
It's just more money.
I found that a lot with Tesla, that a lot of times when you ask them about something, they'll be like, oh, well, we just do that because it's a pretty good idea. And you're like, yeah, but it costs me money. Oh, so you don't want to do that? And it's like, well, not if I don't have to. Right. Okay, yeah, we'll take that off. And
but like, I'm worried that they've already done it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like...
Well, you haven't approved the estimate, so I don't think they have.
I guess not.
This is also tough because, when you buy an ICE car, you're kind of ready for these bad news things. Like, right. I would always, back in the day, save up money for transmissions and brakes and all that kind of stuff.
And like, I've spent $4,000 on a automatic transmission for a car.
For an ICE car, yeah.
Right? So like... This bill is not the biggest.
No, but what I'm trying to get at is, when you buy an EV, like your Leaf, you've spent practically no money on your Leaf. Right. And so you kind of get used to not having to spend that money anymore, which is a good thing.
Right.
But it means that I think one of the reasons you're so kind of upset right now is you didn't prepare for this, because it was something that you got used to not having to do. And it does seem a little weird, because I have a 2017 Model 3 with, I think, more miles than yours, because we've driven it long distances. And we do not have that problem. So it's like, does it have different parts? Do I drive differently? Although you drive it a lot, so you're like the same driver. And, as we did a Tesla Time News story a week or two ago, depending on when you're seeing this, Tesla's been having a lot more issues with cars in 2022 than they were in the first 30 days of ownership in 2018, which might be why my 2017 has had less issues than your 2018. Like, who knows?
It could be, but it's just like, the more cars that Tesla has on the road and the older those cars are going to be, Tesla needs to work on their service even more. Right. They've kind of had this like easy mode for a while, where it's just like, my door alignment is a little weird.
But I do want to point out, we have a Rivian R1T right now, and it has water in the door issues. And when we called for a service appointment, not only did it take them weeks to get back to us, and they would basically just drop us. When they finally did book me the other day, they booked me over a month out. And I was like, do you have anything sooner? And they're like, nope. In Massachusetts, how many Rivians do you have? And they wouldn't answer me, but I've got to imagine it's less than 100. Right. So it's like, what's going on?
So anyway, keep you posted, and hopefully it's not $900 in repairs. Okay, so we're back from Tesla service.
Yeah, we just picked up your car. It's all fixed.
It's all fixed.
You don't look happy.
I am happy now.
You are happy now. Okay, but something changed. Last time we spoke to you, it was going to be $800 and something, but then what happened?
So I sent them a message through the app, and then I got a call a few hours later, and they said that they sent out the wrong estimate and that now it was going to be $248.
Hang on. What? They sent out the wrong estimate, like someone else's estimate?
No. So there's a couple different things here. So first of all, I talked to the guy at the service center, and he said, yeah, we usually give you an estimate for everything because we order all the parts.
So they overestimate?
They overestimate. They ordered more than enough parts or something like that. So that's one thing. So the estimate's going to be high.
Okay.
Which, good that it might be lower and that I'm never going to be surprised that it's much higher, although
yours did get higher.
Mine got higher and then it got lower. So, okay, I approved one estimate. I brought it in. They found one problem that I didn't know about, which is that basically a wiring harness on my right tire was loose and it was rubbing against the tire, and my wheel sensor would have been disconnected. So they fixed that. That was not covered under warranty. I had to pay for that. Okay. So then the other part was that they replaced both of my upper control arms. But here's the thing, as we mentioned earlier, I had already had one of my upper control arms replaced January. So that would mean that they replaced it for no reason. Although when I was on the phone, they said that now they replace them in pairs, because if one is going to go, then the other one is
because it would have saved you, actually.
It would have saved me had they done it.
Back in January, had they done it.
And it would have been nice because it would have been
So that means
warranty.
they're learning. Although I can see as a customer being mad if you're like, so you're going to replace both, but even my left one is fine?
So my right one was fine, and they didn't make me pay for it.
Even though they replaced it?
Even though they replaced it, because they said that they realized that they didn't need
As a Tesla shareholder, I'm very upset.
So as a customer, I'm happy, right? Because I got a free upper control arm, although there was nothing wrong with the one that I had before.
I'm upset now.
So, I mean, they definitely wasted time and resources in a control arm.
It was a perfectly good control arm.
I think so.
So you ended up spending $600 less. So it's like $259 or something?
$248.
$248. It drove home great. No more noises.
Mm-hmm.
They fixed
I had my car back. It's a race car.
End of the story is good. It just means that our ride was very bumpy.
Yeah.
It was a communication problem. It was largely a communication problem. I mean, if they had said, here's an estimate, it is probably very high. It is probably has more parts on it than you need, but we're just being safe. Do you approve this estimate? I think you probably would have said, okay, maybe.
So, I mean, I did at the beginning. At the beginning, I told the camera, I was like, that's because high.
Yeah, but they didn't tell you why it was so high.
Sure.
You just said,
there was no
I got
communication. Once I messaged, a few hours later, I got a call. I got someone who explained it to me, and it made me feel a lot better.
You forced the communication to take place, and that is what I think Tesla's problem has always been.
Right. So this is the weird part. So my estimate went up to $800 and whatever dollars, $850. So yeah, I mean, I think that they must have undercharged me for labor on this service.
Why?
Because of they replaced the wrong control arm, and they didn't want me to be upset, which is fine. I'm not upset anymore.
I know, but as a Tesla shareholder, I don't think this is an efficient way to do it. And I think also you went through a bad customer service experience. And I think that's not good. I know the end result, you're happy, but it should have been happy the whole way through. I'm just asking you guys, is this what you want? I don't think so. I don't think you want.
It's close. I will say, though, it's at the end of the day, first of all.
You're happy now because it ended well.
Happy.
But that's only because they almost kind of tricked you. It's almost like the old, well, you're going to die in 6 months.
Sure.
Oh, you're going to die in 3 years. Yeah. Oh, so you feel better. But like, end of the day, it's still what it is.
Yeah.
Comment below. Either he's right or I'm right. I think the customer service could be better.
It could be better. Yes. But was it horrible? Was
but you were in a bad state in the middle there. Do you remember how distressed you were? And in fact, you didn't even want to deal with it for a while because it was so expensive. And that expensive was not true. If they had told you in the beginning what it really was going to cost or closer to it, you would have felt a lot better for weeks. And I would argue that the amount of unhappiness that you have felt would have been greatly diminished. So it all comes down to communication.
Right. Part of me was like, maybe that's an upper bound and maybe they're not going to use the right control arm. Then when I brought it in, after I had already approved one estimate, then I kept getting all these messages for estimates.
I know the answer. I know why this sucks.
Why?
And I'm sorry to say it. And I'm going to say it now. It is because they put engineers in charge, and engineers don't fully understand customer service. Engineers understand engineering. They understand how to send out emails and updates and estimates. They don't understand the emotional impact that it has on people when you're talking hundreds or thousands of dollars.
Emotional, damn it.
And I just think in between here, there should have been someone who said, well, that's fine, but hang on, the way that people are going to interpret this, it's going to be very messy. What can we do to make that better? And I think we've talked about this all along. If you make people, VPs of special operations who can interpret that data and go, hello, Jesse, let me walk you through what we're thinking here. It could be as high as $800. I don't think it will be. It probably will be much lower. What do you think? That
And
you'd feel a lot better.
honestly, it could have been a form message sent to me where it's like, here's the estimate. It's likely that the estimate is
It could have been a video.
overvalued.
Could have been a video where a nice, friendly Tesla technician would have said, and this is, I'm not saying they record this every time. I'm saying this is a stock video where they go, here's how we do things at Tesla.
Yeah.
And we just want to give you the benefit so you know the worst case. 16% of the time, it's the worst case.
Right.
And 82% of the time, it's not.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
This is where I want to compare to bringing your car into a regular dealership where you are going to get a call at some point and they're going to go, oh my gosh, we just looked under the hood and it looks like you're going to need another new water pump and we're going to need to do something else. And
I will say, though, having been alive for a long time, there are some dealerships where you actually get a middle person who doesn't do the work, whose job is to interpret what the technicians are doing and who is the go-between between the two. And they have that at Tesla, too. But that person a lot of times would say, here's what it looks like it's going to be, but the technician did tell me that if that thingamajig isn't rotted, it won't be so much, blah, 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 blah. And it feels good as a customer to know that you have that person to talk to. I'm just saying this is a big deal when you bring your car in for service. It's not usually $40. It's usually $400 or $4,000. And so it's really important, I think, to have someone who can just be that communication point. And I just feel like in Tesla, sometimes it works out okay, but we've had many experiences like this where we have to get on the phone and look, that's not making it efficient for them. Now you tied up someone on the phone. That's not part of their system.
Yeah.
So I just think that's the answer. I don't think Tesla's trying to screw anybody here.
Of course.
But is it possible that if you hadn't made a squeaky wheel, would you have gotten the grease? Like, is it because you called that you got better customer service? And I would argue yes. Because look,
Yeah.
I'm on emails with so many people who email me as if I work at Tesla, and I don't, but I'm happy to try and talk to you, who say, I've had this communication void with Tesla. They won't talk to me. I haven't heard from them in weeks or blah, blah, blah. And it just happens too often.
But I didn't have that. As soon as I asked for it, I got
got
someone who called me.
Yep.
So I'm very pleased with that.
Yep. I think that Tesla designed the system a lot like Apple designed their repairing of your Apple device. And in this case, this device is a order of magnitude or more expensive than your Apple device. And so you need a different kind of customer service. Like if you bring in your laptop, probably expensive to get it fixed, but nowhere near as expensive as a Tesla could be. So it's important that you have a different system in place.
Overall, for me, because I'm the one who got it, yeah, I was stressed out
And
in
they
the middle.
did it fast. They did it fast, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I got home before my scheduled appointment. Because I had dropped it off the night before, I guess that's a little hack. They like fixed it at 10 in the morning.
That is a really good hack.
So
Try and drop it off the night before if you
that
can.
was really nice.
Yeah, it buys you a day.
It
Do you know
was-
why it buys you a day, by the way? I've heard from technicians. Because your car is there in the morning, as opposed to the person who's supposed to drop it off at 9:15 and is 30 minutes late, they just start working on your car
Right. The waiting 2 weeks, that was a bit long.
to actually get your
To
first
actually
appointment.
drop off my car. For 2 weeks, I'm driving around in my really squeaky car, just feeling awful.
Yeah.
Now that it's not squeaky anymore, oh my God. I'm like, oh, I love this car.
Comment below. I feel like 4 years, roughly, right, for those upper control arms is too soon for them to start giving you squeak problems because I don't think you drive like a maniac, and I just think that that's something that shouldn't wear out so fast.
So interesting. I don't know.
Let us know what you think.
And we'll see you next time. Now you know.